November Alpha 3 Papa. We have worked before, but I have a new radio here. I have a new radio which you've never analyzed. I'm running an FT-818, and I am running an external RF compressor which is made by Silka Beams. So I don't know if I've got the right mic gain setting proper or what, but maybe you can help me out. Over.
Roger, what's the name there?
Roger, what's the name there?
Name here is Dick, Delta India Charlie Kilo, Dick, and I'm in Culpeper, Virginia. Over.
Roger, Dick. Well, why don't you give me about 10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system, and let me listen to you. I'll check my local antenna, see if I can find a better path. Roger?
Let me listen to you. I'll check my local antenna, see if I can find a better path. Roger?
Okay, watts output, and I am running it through a cheap Chinese amp, the MX-E50M, which is a little amplifier which is advertised to put out up to 45 watts, but right now it's only doing about 30. I only get about 30 watts out of this thing. And the antenna is a end-fed wire for 80 through 10 meters made by myantennas.com, an end-fed wire made by myantennas.com at about 30 feet average elevation above my backyard. So I've never talked to you on this FT-818, but you have helped me out on my ICOM 7300 and my ICOM 7410 in the past, and really appreciate your help. Over.
Roger, Dick. Now, you have a compressor aboard that radio, Roger?
It is an external compressor which attaches to the microphone cord, and there is no external adjustment on it. It's just on or off. It's currently on. So whatever, and I'm also running the microphone, the stock microphone, which has a low cutoff switch, which I have turned on. It's got a tone 1 and tone 2. Tone 2 is the low cutoff switch turned on. So I'm cutting a few of my lows off, and my mic gain is only at 10%, 10 out of 100. Over.
Roger that. Well, it looks like you, do you have an ALC meter on the radio?
I do have an ALC meter, and currently, let me see here. Currently, it's very relative. It's going up at about half scale right now.
Roger. Our usual is mid-scale to two-thirds. Mid-scale to two-thirds. If you can strike that balance on the ALC, that would be good. Mid-scale to two-thirds by way of mic gain control.
Okay, I can increase the mic gain a little bit, but I can't. Let's see, there's 15 out of 100. Let me go back to the ALC. I have to, okay, let's see here. ALC is bouncing a little higher. That's 15 out of 100.
Roger. I had you on my local antenna and you're kind of faded out, so I'm going to have to find another SDR to copy the mail. Why don't you tell me the, let's see, why don't you go to you've got an EQ page, Roger?
Negative. This particular radio does not have an EQ. This radio does not have an EQ. About the only thing I can really change right now is my low cutoff switch on my microphone. Cutoff switch on my microphone. On off on my external compressor and the mic gain. Over.
Roger that. My Milford SDRs kicked me off, so I've got to fade back here. And come on, Milford, bring Milford back up. I think that's, oh great. Milford is out to lunch for a while, it looks like. Yeah, so much for Milford. So I'm back to my local antenna, and I need just a little bit more audio to figure out what's happening. So why don't you give me a little bit of about 10 seconds of audio of your choice, Roger?
Okay, here's number 15.
Your choice, Roger.
Okay, here's number 15 out of 100 on my mic gain. This is 15 out of 100. I can crank it down. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's 15. Let me go back down to about 10. There's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Going back up to 15. There's 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know which one sounds better, but to me it's 10 sounded fine on my receiver here locally, but maybe it's a little bit low. Over.
Roger. 15 was better on your your dynamic range at 3 dB. 15 gave you 3 dB dynamic range, which is 80 to 85% of average peak modulation. So that's what we want. So I would keep it at 15, and you are articulated in your audio. It's just not very low end material. If you wanted to try to broaden it out just a tad, why don't you give me about +3 on the bottom end and let me hear that?
Why don't you give me about +3 on the bottom end and let me hear that?
I can't change the bottom end, but let me flip. I can switch this microphone to the low cutoff. Here's my left. I just switched to the low cutoff, so it's not cutting the lows off. You might hear more lows on this microphone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 2, 1. Over.
Roger. I might want to keep that low roll in there. Put the low roll back in, and then reduce your overall audio about, what is it now?
What is it now?
Right now it's 15 out of 100. This external RF compressor jacks up my audio output level quite a bit off my microphone. That's why I'm running so low. Right now it's 15 out of 100. Originally I called you on 10 out of 100. Over.
Roger, I think it's doing well. I was just wanting to make sure that we were at least a 3 dB dynamic range. I didn't want you to be running any harder than that, Roger.
Dynamic range. I didn't want you to be running any harder than that, Roger.
Okay, well 15, I don't think 15 would be pushing it. Unfortunately, this little QRP rig does not have all the fancy stuff that the newer radios have, where you can tailor your transmit audio. Pretty limited. It does not even have a built-in compressor. I have an external compressor that I got with this radio.
Yes, sir. Well, your audio is up there, good 3 dB dynamic range, so that's fine. Like I say, we could use a little more top-end EQ for articulation, but you are very readable the way you are. It's just that the syllabic range is not, the S's are not there, but you are articulated and very easily understood, Roger. And there's not a lot of bottom end there, but then again, I guess that's a QRP radio.
Not a lot of bottom in there, but then again, I guess that's a QRP radio.
Yes, it's only a 6-watt output radio. The basic radio is only 6 watts, and I have a little Chinese brick amplifier outboard to it that's only pushing it up to about 30 watts over.
Roger, just for fun, if you wanted to dump the amp and come back barefoot, and let me hear you barefoot and get that recorded, Roger.
Let me hear you barefoot and get that recorded, Roger.
Roger. Okay, this is barefoot. This is barefoot. NA3P barefoot, and let me flip the amplifier back on. This is the amplifier back on with 30 big watts coming at you. Over.
Roger. Well, there was not a great deal of difference between the two, to be frankly. I mean, that little radio with 6 watts was punching on down, Roger.
That little radio with 6 watts was punching on down, Roger.
Yeah, well, it's amazing what 6 watts can do for you when you got a decent antenna. This antenna, myantenna.com, works really good. Over.
Roger. Well, I'm copying you from Georgia to Arlington, and so you're doing a heck of a job from Virginia, Roger.
And so you're doing a heck of a job from Virginia, Roger.
Okay, Jim. Well, thank you very much. I gotta run because Mother Nature is calling. But thank you very, very much for helping me out again with another radio.
Roger, Dick 73, sir. Have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. And if you want to hear your recording, go to YouTube, do a call and a search, KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That will take you to this recording. It will be cut number 1 of some 2,000 some odd Qso-Vlog recordings. 73, sir. Have a great afternoon. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.